up guys, welcome back to another Profound Studios tutorial, and today I'm going to show you guys how I created a Tech House track using only stock FL Studio plugins, and I'm also going to be giving away the project file to you guys completely for free. There'll be a link in the description how you can grab that, but yeah, it's totally free, no catch. But through this tutorial I'm going to show you guys the plugins I used and the sounds I used and just how I structured the track and some cool little tips and tricks you can use in the future. And yeah, let's get straight into it. Okay, so here we are inside my FL Studio. So I'll quickly, to keep this tutorial short and sweet for you guys, I'll go through the plugins that I used for the main parts of the track. So first, let's go through the bass line. Let's make sure it's turned on properly. Yep. So I use the GMS plugin, which is, as I said, a FL Studio stock plugin. If you have FL Studio, you should have this. And I was actually surprised by a lot of the sounds that are in this plugin. I used the Analog Bass 1 TE preset, and I'll show you guys what that sounds like. And I didn't do too much processing myself to this bass line. All I really did was I turned the reverb off here because that made it sound a bit yuck. The distortion I adjusted a little bit with these parameter X and Y knobs, and then with the EQing, it's just pretty standard EQing. I just boosted around the 115 Hertz mark. Let's just listen to what that sounds like with the whole track. So I think it's got a really cool groovy vibe to it. Yeah, it's a really cool bass preset. I recommend using it. I'll definitely use it in a track for sure. Next, we'll go to our pluck. I also used the GMS plugin. I used a preset called Amphibian TE, and let's listen to how that sounds like on its own. Just a really cool sort of pluck that sits underneath the groove of the track, kind of similar to what Fisher did in his track Losing It, with a little synth underneath the kick. But I didn't do too much to this either actually. It's a really cool preset on its own. I just adjusted the distortion a little bit, I kept the phaser on, and then I used Fruity Reverb here, and then the EQ, and then in the builds I used the delay, which yeah, as I'll show you guys what that sounds like. I just got it slowly building up in the build-ups. Let's just solo that. So you can hear the pluck, the delay of the pluck builds up more and more as we get towards the end of the build. Just a cool little effects you can add to your sounds in build-ups. You can increase like reverbs and delays and things like that to fill it out more and build some more intensity. And lastly, for the main lead, this plugin I didn't even know existed, called Flex. As I said again, another stock FL Studio plugin, and I reckon it's really great. There's a lot of cool sounds in here, a lot of presets to play with, but this a little bit of horror preset gives a kind of like I guess it's that mainstream tech house sort of lead, but I used it anyway. Let's give that a listen. Which is pretty cool, and I also just added a little bit of pitch bend to it. Let's just listen to that here. Which I thought was a cool little effect. I didn't process this too much inside of the plugin itself. I just turned off some of these effects knobs that they don't actually say what they do on this preset, but I just had to fiddle around with it a little bit, and I played around with the cutoff as well. And then I just EQ'd it slightly, boosted the highs a touch, and just used a compressor, and that was about it. And so those are the plugins I used for the bassline, lead, and the pluck. Pretty stock standard. But yeah, let's take a listen to how the track turned out. Let's go over to the second drop. So yeah, that's the track, and as I said, you guys will get this project file completely for free. So yeah, I guess that'll do it for this tutorial. I wanted to keep it short and sweet for you guys. I just wanted to show you how to use some stock FL Studio plugins. If you're not willing to invest in third-party plugins just yet, FL Studio has a lot of great options, and definitely recommend using those plugins that I suggested. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Please drop a like and a subscribe if this helped you. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on this video, and yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Cheers.